So here we are in the desert of Arizona. Temperatures routinely hit 105. We've had quite a few 112s this year. And everybody knows when you have a setup like this, your cooling system has to be optimal. So I'm getting ready to go on a summer Jeep run. And the top of my radiator was split and I'm spewing. It was the original radiator, Mopar radiator. So I desperately ran down to AutoZone, purchased a radiator, and here's the radiator I purchased. Purchased this radiator, and they show one application fits all. But if you notice the bottom there, this is kind of set up for an automatic transmission because you have the transmission cooler line ports. And if you notice how far this core is set in on both sides, this core, it's hard to measure, but gosh, it's probably an inch total thickness, less than an inch. The actual core is really thin. So I put it on, I go driving around, and I have issues. The Jeep is running 10 to 15 degrees warmer than what it did on the cracked original Mopar radiator. And, you know, it's a brand new rebuilt engine, everything's new. There's not one used part on this thing, from water pump to everything. So I'm like, well, the common denominator here is I put a new radiator in it and maybe it doesn't have the same efficiency. So I went and ordered on Rock Auto. They have the Mopar radiators. I think it was like $209. Original OEM Mopar for the 6-speed manual transmission, and it has no transmission oil cooler ports in the bottom, and the entire bottom plastic pan of the radiator does nothing but hold antifreeze. So I got that thing installed. I don't know, it's about 102, 103 out. Turned on the air conditioner, went driving around, went down the freeway, full speed, chugged up a hill, and my temperatures are 100% back to normal. Center line on the gauge, if I recall correctly, is like 210 or 200 degrees, and it needle points straight up just like it used to on the other OEM Mopar radiator. Interesting that when I drained the AutoZone radiator, I kept everything in a drain pan and measured it, and when I poured it, and it was 100% full, no air pockets, when I poured the antifreeze, or drained it from the AutoZone and then poured it because it was brand new, and went to pour it back into the OEM Mopar, I poured everything that I took out of the AutoZone, and it was still, I could still see cores in the top. So you can see the bottle here. These are 16 ounces. It says 1 pint, 500 milliliters. I put 2 more of these in the Mopar. So that's, if this is 16.9 fluid ounces of water, I put like 32, 33 ounces of additional water, 2 of these, to top off the radiator. So that tells me that this bottom section of the pan, and maybe the thickness of the core, this just holds less antifreeze. I mean, it is what it is, but this holds less antifreeze because I didn't spill a drop when I drained it, and when I went to put it back in, the new Mopar radiator wasn't full, and I added 2 of the water bottles. I used the water bottles because what I have is concentrate, and I mixed it 50-50 and filled it up, and my heating issues are gone. So I've heard from lots of people that when you replace radiators in TJs, you want to go with OEM Mopar. And I mean, even my fan clutch is brand new. This is a brand new engine, it has about 1,800 miles on it, and has been running flawless. Everybody says go OEM Mopar, and I'm here to tell you I would go OEM Mopar on the radiator. and I would not rush down to AutoZone. I mean, they may be great radiators. They might last you 100,000 miles, but they don't cool as well. At least they don't on my Jeep. And I can tell you right now, my Jeep's AC blows ice cold, so I know the condenser gets warm and kind of preheats the air prior to AC. But yeah, this was, I just did it because I was desperate, and don't do it. Get the Mopar. I mean, I even put a new overflow bottle. I've purged and checked several times. This thing is running fantastic. Now, we're not going to get into how much this impedes airflow because, well, obviously it does. And I love the Warren bumper. But I may try to source a bumper that lowers the winch. But if you see the sway bar down here, I don't know how much lower this can go. My winch can go, but I would really love to increase my airflow. But believe it or not, when you're off in the trail and you're doing 1 mile an hour climbing, you don't got a lot of ram air anyways. So, I mean, it's just not been an issue. And I think with this Mopar radiator, it's not going to be an issue again. So I may just go status quo, but there you have it. I just wanted to talk about radiator replacements in a TJ. I have to only suggest the Mopars. And remember, I do Rock Auto, not affiliated. I live out in the woods, and FedEx delivers, so it's just convenient. They make one for the manual and they make one for the automatic. And now that I have the manual where my whole pan is free, I have lots more fluid and I'm good to go. All right, that's it. Just a quickie about radiators on your Jeep TJ. Have a great day.